Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Gator Insider, presented by Talon Wealth. I'm Sean Kelley, and of course, our Gator Insider, Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. The 1-3 Gators are coming off their first of 2 bye weeks this season. The most recent ball game, the loss at Miami, and now they turn their attention back to the SEC and welcome the Texas Longhorns to town on this Saturday. We'll get more into that matchup coming up. But here are the Gators, Scott, in a similar position really as last year. And it was a bye week last year that kind of turned the season around. It proved to be a significant moment for Florida in last year's campaign. They'll have to do the same thing here now, obviously after the 1-3 start.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've got recent experience on their side. Coaches and players have been talking about that. Not to start the 4-1, but they do have confidence that they can build upon. And it was unexpected last year in a lot of ways, Sean. You know, when they got the wins over LSU and Ole Miss and then Florida State and Tulane, and it rejuvenated the team, and now they're looking for a similar story in 2025. The schedule's tough, but a lot of these are the same guys who did it last year. There's also young players starting to emerge and make more of an impact. So that's the message from Billy Napier to his team. I think Florida fans who have known the history of this program, they've started slow some in the past, and they're trying to write a similar story. We'll see how that turns out, but that's got to be the message with the Longhorns coming to town.
No doubt. And as far as history goes, we can go back to 1986, as you noted in a conversation earlier today. Not that 1986 is a whole lot relative to 2025, but if you're a student of the game and certainly of Florida football history, one could look back to that in a couple of different ways, even in a positive way.
Yeah, you know, from a personal standpoint, that was the first year I really started paying attention to Florida football. They started 1-3, Sean, and actually they dropped to 1-4, and then they reeled off, I think, 5 wins in the last 6 games, including beating Georgia, Florida State, and one of the more memorable wins in school history, beating Auburn here at Florida Field with Kerwin Bell making a great play at the end. So it's happened, and you look around college football right now, there's a few other programs that are not off to the start, so they won't. So that's why these seasons are 12 games, and they're not 4 games. So, again, it's just not where they want to be, but I know Billy Napier, his players, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, they're committed to turn this around. We can't overstress just the confidence that they did get from the turnaround late last season.
No doubt. And as an insider, you know, the daily covering of the football team, I'm sure if you look back to last season, you weren't quite expecting the bye week to be newsworthy, but it was. Do you kind of think it can be that way again here for the Gators?
Yeah, that's what, they're wanting. That's what they're working toward last week. They know they have to clean up some things on offense to develop a better rhythm. They know DJ Lagway needs as many reps in practice as he can get right now to show improvement. Last year, Sean, it was really on defense that turned around. That's when Ron Roberts took over as a play caller, and their defense was really a catalyst along with Lagway's play in that turnaround, the 4-game win streak at the end of the season. This year, it's a little different. Now it's on the offense. The defense is playing well enough to win any game that the Gators have played so far. But the offense with, 33 points, I think, in the last 3 games, they have to be better. That's been Billy Napier's message. His message to DJ Lagway is he has to be better. And if you saw DJ Lagway's press conference after the Miami game, he told everyone he has to be better and that he was determined to be better. So we'll see what that looks like against the number 9 ranked Longhorns. It's going to be a big challenge. But I do expect Florida this bye week to have benefited them in some ways, especially on offense. I do expect a better performance.
We talked about Florida's defense. That has been a bright spot through the first 4 games. In fact, Florida's defense has now limited their opponents in the red zone to just scoring a touchdown on 40% of those trips. Jaden Woods made his first career start against Miami and recorded his first career sack. And, of course, the Gators now have a takeaway in 15 of their last 17 games, thanks to Cormani McClain, who picked up his second career interception. That's really our play of the game defensively for the Gators this past effort against Miami.
Yeah, it was such a huge play at the moment, Sean. The Gators got the ball there. Cormani McClain, I thought, made a great break on the pass by Carson Beck and was able to just use his closing speed to snatch the ball out of the air and give the Gators possession at a time when they trailed 13-7. Cormani McClain, he's getting as much attention probably as any young player on the roster right now, him and Miles Graham, because we're seeing a player kind of blossom right now before our eyes. And Cormani's story is thickly layered. In the past, he started at Colorado. He came here. Billy Napier gave him another chance, and he's making the most of it. You kind of like the stories. And now we're seeing why Cormani McClain was such a highly sought-after recruit.
Now to the week at hand. Texas is coming in after a bye themselves. We'll, of course, preview the Gators and the Longhorns and a rare visit for Texas to Gainesville, Florida, coming up later in the week. For Scott Carter, I'm Sean Kelley. This has been Gators Insider presented by Talon Wealth.